Donnie Reese here from PSVG, hosting the Nintendo Shack Pokemon Trainers Corner Edition. Lobo, welcome back to the Shack. How are you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Just excited to be here. The one time a year that I get to be here. Yeah, just taking it all in. One flying Pidgey at a time.
One flying Pidgey at a time. I like that hat. Repping the Charizard camp over there.
This is the hat that never makes it to work because, Washington, D.C. So.
And what would Shaq be without Nintensis Karo? Repping Pikachu.
Picaro is here.
Picaro?
Picaro.
Did we find out if the Italian word for Pikachu is Karo?
No, I found out that it's some French streamer and her name is Carol, and she had her own tweet going. So
that hurts even more. Now that we found it's actually another Karo who's also a streamer.
It was supposed to be.
Wow.
It was supposed to be a hashtag that got cut short or something. So.
Wow.
Rip.
So we have zero notes for today's show. And I actually kind of wanted it that way. Not only am I just fresh off of gaming, like just walked in here and turned on the camera and hit go. But yeah, I mean, this is PokeShack Pokemon Day 2018. That's the title of this. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu just came out. We've been playing it for different periods throughout the day. We've been talking about it for months now. And really, that's what this show should be all about. So we're not going to talk about any news or anything like that. But we'd be remiss if we didn't at least get some early hits on Detective Pikachu trailer that dropped this week with Ryan Reynolds.
It's part of the week.
It is part of the week. Great timing for that. Insane looking trailer. Insane concept theory. I was blown away. I'm not exactly sure if it's one of those things. I'm not sure if I'm blown away in a good way or a bad. I don't know. My curiosity is like through the roof. I'm like, it could be amazing. This could be the greatest thing ever. What did you think, Caroline, the first time you saw the trailer for Detective Pikachu?
I had to look at it again. I watched it the first time, and I was like, literally, I just slack-jaw, like, what did I just watch? And I watched it again, and I was like, all right, one more time. And I watched it a third time, and by the time I watched it the third time, I was like, all right, this is a thing. This is the way they went with it. It's not terrible, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a little bit worried here. I just don't know how it's going to play out. Now, I think Ryan Reynolds' comedy in this is spot on. It's perfect. It's exactly what it needs. Like, if you give that Pikachu an adorable voice or something, if you cast Danny DeVito as it doesn't have the same effect. I think that Ryan Reynolds, what he's done with Deadpool, he's kind of just made a name for himself for being a snarky, sarcastic kind of dude. And the fact that this Pikachu character is very much similar to that, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a good dynamic. I thought that the main guy, the guy that the cop kid, was actually kind of flat in comparison. I'm like, Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu is going to.
You're reading a lot into a trailer. She's like, Ryan Reynolds is amazing. The voiceover is going to be fantastic. This guy can't act. It was 2 minutes, Caroline.
I know. Yeah. Some of it was nightmare fueled, but others like
nightmare fueled.
Dude, that Mr. Mime is just.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm reading too much into the fact that like we saw the bar with like the neon, and we kind of saw like this cityscape, but like it. My first impressions was it had like this dystopian.
Sure,
cyberpunky type thing, which is interesting because they could create like this really awesome setting, this world that this stuff kind of thrives in. And the only thing I said in Discord that I'll bring up before we get Lobo's thoughts was it very much reminded me of like I had like this instant like Gremlins, like the dinosaurs feel from the look of these. I don't know if they're CG or models, but all the Pokemon have like fur and they're very realistic, and it's just. I think it's neat. It took guts to go this path. I give them that.
I agree.
Because they could have easily did something else. I was not as taken back by Pikachu's voice, only because I'm fresh off of watching I Choose You, and Ryan Reynolds' voice is way better than the voice actor that did the voice in that. So anything is better than that. So I'm like, yeah, that's an improvement. I'm up. What do you think, Lobo?
I really liked it. Honestly, I had not read anything about the movie prior to literally like running into the trailer. So because the moment I heard about it, I was like, this is gonna be stupid. It's another Pokemon movie, you know, just the same plot, you know, world-ending cataclysm that stopped by Ash Ketchum. You know, like I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I'm so burned out by Pokemon movies that I was like, this is gonna be like another Pokemon movie. And then I Choose You Pikachu kind of pissed me off because of what happens in that movie. So I was like, you know what? I don't even care. So I watched the trailer and I'm like, it's actually really good.
It looks fun.
It's actually like refreshing, right? It's the kind of movie that gets a 35-year-old dude that hasn't played Pokemon in 20 years to be like, you know what? Let me go watch this movie. It looks funny.
Sure.
You know?
It's like it's got like this sci-fi buddy cop vibe kind of thing to it.
Yeah,
it has a noir comedy feel to it, and it works. And Ryan Reynolds he sounds great. You know, like it's not a Pokemon movie in the anime sense, but it is a Pokemon themed movie, and I'm okay with that. I can dig it.
Can I give Brian's reaction too? Because I let him watch it later. He looks at it, and the first thing he says at the end is, 10 out of 10. We're gonna go see that, right?
Oh yeah.
I said yes. You don't have to worry about that. But he was enthralled with it a little bit. So
that is basically what my wife said. She was like, "Well, we're gonna go see that this summer with Jack," and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna kind of have to." All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Pokemon Let's Go. So let's talk about our stories first. And Q, you were already kind of teeing up a story before we hit record. So why don't you wind that back a bit and let's hear about your story. What was your pickup Pokemon Let's Go story?
Yeah, so 2 days ago, I find out that my 6-month-old reservation from Amazon is not coming till next week. And I called them and I'm like, hey, like, I need this game like today, like this morning. Like, what's going on? Like, when I pay for this, when I ordered it said day 1 delivery, and they're like, no, it's not going to happen until next Tuesday. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. I feel like every other game from Amazon that I've gotten pre-order delivers on day 1. I don't know why this game suddenly my order got switched around and they couldn't fix it. So I canceled that, and I call like every GameStop in the area, in the DC area, and they're going to have like extras of the regular games. But the bundle that comes with the Pokeball, they only have like the exact number of those. So I text my buddy who's a manager at GameStop, and I'm like, look, man, do you have any extra of the bundle, the Pokeball game bundle ones? And he's like, I have one. And I'm like, dude, I will be there right after work. So I drove 45 minutes across town to the furthest GameStop in DC traffic, to the furthest GameStop from me, to grab that copy, and then drive another 35 minutes in another direction back to my place to then get home, not even change clothes, not even grab food, put the game in, and put in at least 45 minutes to an hour before my wife gets home, and me being super cool, being like, hey, do you want to play some? And as I speak, 2 hours later, she's still playing. And now I regret every second that I spent selling Pokemon to her. I just wish I'd never done it.
Rip.
Wait, can I get my Switch back? What are you doing over
Yeah, that's how I feel. That is how I feel. Like I'm like, I really want to play this right now. And don't get me wrong. It's cool to see her adopt a game that, for me, has been sacred, because to me, Pokemon is sacred. It's one of those sacred IPs. There's like 2 or 3 IPs in that category. It's a sacred IP. But then like she's writing out her trainer's name at the beginning, and she writes it all in lowercase. And I'm like, you know that all the names in the game are like in all caps. And she's like, yeah, but who cares? And I'm like,
are we even married? What are you talking about?
Right. There's no sense of the sacred. Like, so I realized really quickly, like within 5 minutes of her playing, for me, this Pallet Town routine is like a pilgrimage moment. You know, you come home to Pallet Town, you wake up in your bedroom, you go see Oak, You go to Viridian City. Oh wait, there's a parse tunnel. I'm not spoilers. I mean, this is how Red and Yellow and Fire Red started.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a sacred routine. I've done it 1,000 times. I still talk to every single character in the map. This is just what I do. You just got to. It's you know, it's part of the game. Even if they're gonna tell me, "Hey, have you got Pokeballs at the Pokemart? Make sure you buy Pokeballs." You know, it's like, great, thanks, guy. But for her, it was just like, it's just blowing through it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, you don't understand. Like, this is 5-year-old me, 6-year-old me was like dying inside in a fireball, and I was like, "Oh god!" And it took me like an hour to accept the fact that her playing it and me playing it were gonna be completely different experiences. But yeah, suddenly watching her play was not as fun as I thought it was going to be.
Now, does she play Pokemon Go, or is this like the first?
She plays Pokemon Go. We're both above level 30.
Wow.
So
Nice.
Pokemon Go.
That's important. Caroline, tell me about your Pokemon Let's Go story.
Well, I mean, I'll throw in Best Buy right here, right? This is where we're throwing in Best Buy. So, this morning I took today off because I planned on streaming the entire day. Most of the people that I knew were playing the Pikachu version. Even though I got both copies, I figured I'll play Eevee, and that way I can trade most everybody for what I want, and they will, get stuff from me. No, it's fine, right? So got out to Best Buy. I was there 10 minutes before they opened at 10 o'clock. And I just went and I stood outside. It was cold and everything. While I'm doing that, I'm texting. I was like, 5 minutes until Best Buy.
It was cold. It was like
opens.
25 degrees down here in Atlanta this morning.
Oh, was it really? I didn't feel that cold to me. I was excited. I only had on a jacket. I was excited. And I was standing in the shadow too, so it's not like there was any sun on me. So at Best Buy, got my hashtag Pokemon Let's Go pre-orders, and I'm going to pick them up and I'm going to go home, blah, blah. So I left, got home, unboxed everything, fired it up. I have the box of the Pikachu and the Pokeball, and then I just bought an extra copy of the Eevee and the Pokeball, and then an extra copy of the Pikachu. And opened everything up on stream, and then I look down, Best Buy retweets and says, "God, I'll just pull up my phone really quick while I'm doing it." But they said something to the extent of Pokemon training complete for the day or something, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. They actually responded. I was like, their social media is great. And then I said, Best Buy wins the day. And like almost near the end of my stream, maybe about 4 o'clock, I had another couple hours to go. They retweet back, or they respond, and they say, you used shout out. It's super effective. So I mean, like, top notch to Best Buy for their social media department for being awesome. I hate the Gamers Club Unlocked is going away because they're where I get everything right now because of GCU, and I just don't know how that's going to be in the future. But thank you guys for making my day. But yeah, other than that, I just played from a little bit before 11. I was originally going to go in at 11, and I started about 10:30 and went till 6 o'clock, and then we came back, and Brian.
Have you beat it yet?
Heck no. I was like, okay, you don't understand. I'm one of those people that has to collect every Pokemon in the area before I move forward. So when I saw something there, I was like, oh, there's that one. I got to wait for that one to pop back up. So I was sitting around waiting for Abras for a while. I was sitting around waiting for Nidorans on this other area, and like by the end of stream. But I'm just one of those people. At one point, I was starting to do chains of Vulpix to try and get a shiny. And obviously, like, it's just ridiculous. I need to wait until I beat it and get a shiny charm, and my odds are way better. But Brian I think he's playing it right now. I don't know if he's playing it, but he's got the Pikachu version. He just said something. I didn't hear what he said. But he started doing it, and I kind of had the same feeling because he picked the girl character, and I'm like, you're a boy. Why are you picking the girl character? And I just don't know why you guys do that. That's another thing that I go off on. But anyway, he had like the perfect blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy character, and he didn't pick it. He picked the girl character that I picked, and he's like, huh? I wonder what I name her. He's like, maybe Clara. And then I was like, He's staring at me in the door, guys. He's just like
Should have named him like his ex-girlfriend's name. That's what I would have done.
Oh,
That would have been hilarious.
If he named her after an ex, I would beat him senseless.
That would have been that's the move. That's the movie. Man.
That's the Pokemon Let's Go story.
I
wanna hear.
wonder what I should name her. Ex-girlfriend number one.
He ended up naming her. Carororo or whatever. Carororo.
Carororo.
Yeah. Oh, and the other funny story, when they ask you to name your rival, I was like, Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, frickin' Blue is in the game.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I have the Blue that I named my
they
rival.
let you name him Blue anyway.
Yes.
Oh,
And
I was
then
expecting them to go, no, you can't use that name.
No, I have Blue that I named and actual Blue. And I was like, and my chat's like, LOL, right?
Wow.
No.
That's a mistake.
But Brian's playing it and he's just kind of wandering around and I'm just like, I know you've played this game before. Don't let me down. But I'm a really bad backseat gamer. So I just kind of had to play with something on my phone.
I
Like,
could see that.
I'm not going to watch him play.
I
I'm
think
going to
Q
let
and
him
I
do
both
his own
understand
thing.
that. You probably are a really bad backseat gamer.
I was mansplaining the crap out of that game, and at some point, my wife she doesn't hold back.
Get in a
She's
different
like,
room.
She's just
Customers.
like I can play this, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I feel kind of sad because I thought after playing Starlink, I thought I'd grown up. You know, it's like, you know what, she can, if she wants to blow up her ship, she can blow up her ship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God, no.
But no, when it got to Pokemon, I was like, oh man, like I'm having a hard time just watching, like.
I know what you mean. For me, it's like that with Zelda. I'm like, you have to go here first. You have to.
Q, what's your rival's name?
Blue.
You went Blue too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you
Blue, all
really?
caps. Yeah, all caps.
My rival's name is Seth.
So have you met the other Blue yet?
I
The
have.
real Blue.
Wait, there's another character called Blue?
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's what I
man.
said. I named my rival Blue, but
Yeah.
the real Blue,
There's the Blue
Gary
is in the
Oak,
game.
is in the game.
Oh, that sucks. I did not. No, see, I'm at Viridian City because my wife is already like, I don't know where she is. She's like,
He
way
shows
faster.
up. I think he shows up in Cerulean City.
Cerulean.
But
Oh, okay.
oh my God, I was
Well, that's
like,
gonna be weird. All right.
Yeah.
That's
I
kinda
mean,
weird to make the choice.
my rival's name is Seth.
Brian also says you should tell them I named my rival Durgle.
He
This is
didn't-
my
he
husband,
didn't
right?
need to tell us that.
These
This is-
kids, man,
this
they
is
have
how
no
dumb.
respect.
Yeah.
They have no
Durgle.
respect for history.
I'm a
Durgle.
little upset that my rival and I are so friendly and nice because I named him Seth because I thought it was gonna be a rival. And so far, I'm like, Seth's like this super nice guy. I should have named
Like,
him like
here, have like 5 potions.
I should have
And I'm
named him like
oh, shit.
Fluxay or something. Like this isn't Seth.
Gave me like
This is-
3 revives. I'm like, these are pretty expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
My Pokemon story is today we celebrated Jack's birthday. His birthday was last week, but he's known for a while that he was getting this game for his birthday. So last week when he had his birthday party, I didn't give him anything because today's his birthday party. So I kept him out of school. We went and got biscuits for breakfast, and then we went to Starbucks, and then we went and got in line at the
Biscuits
Best
from
Buy.
where?
Martin's.
Oh, I love Martin's.
Martin's is a good choice. So we did not get in line. That was actually one of the things I tweeted about. Like, I felt old. For the first time in my life, I felt old because it was 25 degrees outside. It wasn't like a blistering 25. It was like a
It wasn't
warm
bad.
25. But it was 25 degrees outside in Atlanta this morning. We were under a freeze warning last night. And I was looking at all these people lined up. We had about 12, 15 people lined up at the door at about 9:30, 9:15-ish.
Really?
And I was
the
sitting in
first
my
one
car
standing
and I
out
was
there.
like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit over there. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to listen to my music. I'm going to, like I'm going to sit in my car and be comfortable. So we just waited for the line to go down. They opened up a little early, maybe like 10 minutes early. And once the line kind of went down, we saw a few people come out. Like we walked in and we grabbed our stuff and we went home. And we did our unboxing video, which is up on YouTube, which was streamed
I
live
gotta
on
see it.
Twitch. I wish I would have plugged in the Switch when I was doing all of the system transfer stuff, because what you're getting is a webcam view of both systems next to each other. So the reason I saved my story for last is this is our second Switch. So I've got my Poke Switch right here behind me, and this is our second Switch. So some of the things I can confirm now that we have two Switches. The transfer profile, pretty seamless and easy.
Good.
Once you kind of click all the buttons, it just kind of does it. It took about 5 minutes. All it does is transfer your licenses and your saves. So you have to re-download every game all over again. I can confirm, though, that I put my profile back on the kids' Switch, and they can play the games that I've already purchased under my profile.
Oh, that's
with
good.
some limitations. They have to be connected to the internet.
Right, we knew that from the thing. Yeah.
I cannot play anything. Like, if I'm online, it's not like if they're playing Mario Kart, I can't play Mario Kart. If they're playing Mario Kart under my profile and I try to play Pokemon, it boots them off.
Oh.
But
Wow, that's very strict.
What I can do, there is a slight loophole to get around it. If they're playing one of my games on my profile on their Switch, if they're playing Mario Kart as Donnie on their Switch, I can go offline and play anything on my console.
Oh, okay.
So all I got to do is
when you're
set
both
myself in
connected.
airplane mode, and I can play anything on my console that doesn't require an online connection. So basically, you can't play anything two of any game that requires any sort of online check or
Right.
connectivity. So like Fortnite's out, all that's out. But we can at least there's some game share. I'm not buying 2 copies of every game. That's the point. It did work. The kids could play it. Jack played it. He's super happy. What
Right.
Jack did not know about today, because he got Let's Go Eevee, the game, and the Pokeball. What he did not know is that this entire time I have been planning to give him the dock. And
Oh, God.
that took a little bit out of me, because when I pulled the dock out of the box, it looked better than I thought it did. Like, seeing it in person, I was like, man, that looks pretty good. It looks better than I ever, on all the boxes and everything that I thought, it looks better than I ever expected it to. It's got like this really nice, like, flat finish. It's not nearly as glossy as I thought it would look.
Yeah.
From all the instructions. But when I gave it to him, he got super excited on stream. He threw his hands to the air. He's like, yes! Because he had asked
I
for
can't
a
wait to
dock
watch
for
it.
Christmas. Ever since he knew we were getting these 2 Switches, he wanted to put a dock in his room so he could carry the Switch around the house and play on different TVs. So that was like the big birthday surprise today, is that he got the dock, and then I helped him put it in his room. So we redid all the cords and did all that jazz and hooked it all up. So
Bless him.
I do like my Joy-Cons. They're really nice. My Joy-Cons didn't come
I know
across
they're
on Twitch as well as I thought, as well as I think they look in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was recording it, the Eevee one looked like gold or tannish, and it's not. You know, it's like this soft
a brown.
Yeah. And Caroline, your thoughts are confirmed. They look hot with those grips.
Damn
Those
it.
grips attached, they look good.
I really need a set.
I asked Callow while I was doing my unboxing. He said the people are selling those Joy-Cons for like $150, $180 on eBay. I was like, wait a second. He was like, you can't. I was like, I'm not going to sell them, but I don't know. You think about it, I don't know. It's a lot of money. So anyway, yeah, that's basically my story. Really, really enjoyed having the day with my son. We did an hour-long unboxing. We did all the system transfer stuff. We did all the game sharing stuff. And we hooked everything up in his room, in which he is still up there right now, this very second, glued to the TV in his room, playing Pokemon Let's Go.
Precious.
So before we get into the game and break it all down, I do want to talk about the Pokeball accessory. Have either of you tried to use it with Pokemon Go yet?
Pokemon Go?
Pokemon
No.
Go. Okay.
Aside from trying to help you earlier. And
Yes. I did call Caroline on her stream because I took the Pokeball out. I went to go pick up Victoria from school, and I wanted to go walk around and try it out before we hit the stream tonight. And I could not get that thing working. I did not know what I was doing. There are like instructions that you can click from the app, and they are very generic and bland. They're like,
Right.
connect it to Bluetooth, push the button, is what it says. It's like, push the button to catch a Pokemon. You're like, what?
Now, see, that
Which
makes
is the
sense
button? What is this?
It makes sense in terms of the plus, which you wear on your wrist, because there's only one button. They really need to redo them for this ball. It's completely different.
After you helped me out and telling me how to, to press the B button, which is the top smushy button, after you helped me out with that, here's what I figured out. Even though I had synced the Pokemon Go, the Pokeball Plus to Pokemon Go on my phone, it wasn't connected. I saw it, but it was grayed out. And the reason that I didn't know it was grayed out, because I never saw it where it was all full color. So I thought it was connected. So what I did is I ejected it and resynced it again, and then it came full color, and then it started
Right.
lighting up and doing things. I have since resynced it to my phone 4 times. Every time I've had to eject it and resync it every time.
What? That's terrible.
And I think it's because I'm syncing it to the Switch in between those playthroughs.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense why I couldn't get it to work while I was playing.
I think that's what it is. You can only sync it to one, and if you sync it to one, then you've got to like quit it out and resync it to the other one. It doesn't just like stop connection to one, pick up connection to the other, which is kind of what I expected it to do.
Sucks, but it makes sense.
I did catch like 13 Pokemon with it today, just like riding around, walking at the park, picking her up from school. I do think this is going to make playing Pokemon Go a whole different experience
Yeah.
for me. Like this is where it's at for me anyway. I'm just driving by, it lights up, I press the button, it does its thing, and I'm moving on about my business. I don't have to open up my phone. I'm not like, being a dangerous driver or looking at my phone while I'm walking around. Like that's perfect. It's exactly what I want. And the fact that it can spin Pokestops
Yeah.
is pretty amazing. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Really nice accessory. Lots of power there. Also, for those of you wondering about this new accessory peripheral, you can store a Pokemon in it from Pokemon Let's Go and like walk it around, take it out for a stroll. I'm going to say this now. Now you're further in the game than me, Caroline, but I think that
I haven't done the stroll.
makes the game OP. I took Mew.
I can see that.
I took Mew on a stroll, and I left my house. I went to the school to pick up Victoria, which is less than a mile away. We went to the gas station, and then we walked around like this little park area behind our nearest gas station. We came back, and Mew gained 10 levels.
Oh God, no! But see, here's the problem.
It felt like
Then-
Bayonetta and Amiibo all over again. I plugged
Then-
Mew in, and he went from like 8 to 19. I was like, what the hell?
All right, so number one, when you're the lower levels, it goes by faster.
It goes fast.
I caught one Pokemon with Mew who starts out as a level 1, by the way. For you guys that don't know, your Mew in Pokeball starts as a level 1, which kind of sucks. I was expecting at least a
good.
50. But when I caught one, it went from 1 to 3, like immediately. So there's that.
Mhm.
The problem is you have to be within a certain level range in order for the Pokemon to listen to you. So if you're over leveling your stuff, then you're going to run into the problem of it's just not going to listen, and you're going to have a useless thing until you
Sure.
get that high level.
And I don't want to get too much into the gameplay yet, because I want to talk about this accessory. But it's just something to think about if you're, especially later in game, as you start to get towards the end game and you really need to level up your Pokemon. I feel like they've made this in such a way that it almost feels, to me at least in my early times, I think it might feel essential. Unless you seriously want to put in the hours and the time to grind. If you don't want to do that, you buy this accessory and you carry it around with you, which is great cross promotion, right? Because if you
Right.
carry it around with you, you're going to use it for Pokemon Go, which means you're going to get you playing. Like, this is actually somewhat very ingenious. This is really, really smart.
Is your
marketing
Mew
on
from
their part.
Pokemon Go?
No, it
No.
comes with the Pokeball. If you buy one of these, you get Mew with it.
Sync it, go to your mystery gifts in the
Yep.
menu, and you just, it's
Now,
a level 1 Mew.
See, where is the mystery gifts part? Is it in the?
You go to
in-
the
when you
menu.
press- Mhm.
When you go to the menu, you go to the blue one
next
that's
to
like
save.
connections or something,
Yeah.
and then go down to mystery gifts that's there.
Yep.
I have issues with how that whole menu thing is structured.
Let's hold that for now, because I do too. But I for one am excited that the Mew is level 1, because that means that Jack got another Pokemon to add to his party right out of the gate, so he got to play. It's like, so there's a part of me that likes that it's level 1 versus level 100. Come back in 100 hours and you can use this Pokemon.
Well,
I gave you.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So I've talked long enough. Q, what do you think about the? Or you didn't get the accessory, or did you? You got the bundle,
Yeah, the
right?
Pokeball.
What do you think
Yeah,
about
I have
the
it.
Pokeball just as a controller?
It sucks. No, okay, no, I'm sorry. The catching Pokemon experience
Yeah.
is great. It's probably a 9 out of 10. Like my wife got home and she's like, I'm not gonna use the Pokeball. I'm just gonna use the controller. And I'm like, no. Try catching one Pokemon with the Pokeball. And she saw the vibration, the sound, the lights, and
Oh, it
she's
does feel
like,
great.
okay, like once
does.
you catching the Pokemon with it, it's
And it makes its little cry.
75% of the reason to use it. I think in that scenario it works really well. when it comes to like everything else, it is not a good peripheral. Managing menus, moving your way through the menu, caressing the head of your Pokemon. I don't know if you've done that when you.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the only hard part that I've come across.
It's like I feel like I was back on the Kinect, man. I was like,
Yes.
this is so difficult. Why is this so difficult? Even running around, like my hands are pretty big. The Pokeball is like this big.
I can see how it's a problem for you guys.
And it's like I'm crushing it with I'm crushing it. Yeah, exactly, Donnie.
You're just palming it.
I think my hands might be a little bit bigger than yours. Like I'm literally holding this tiny thing, and the joystick is smaller than the one on the Joy-Cons.
Yep.
And I have an issue. That's my biggest issue with the Joy-Cons. That's why I use the Pro Controller, because the joysticks are so small. I feel like I'm about to break them. And on the Pokeball, they're even smaller. And so I'm trying to navigate the map. And I think I'll get better the more I play and the more I get used to it. But I'm getting used to the sensitivity. I'm not getting used to the actual accessory itself.
Sure.
I'm getting used to how the game reacts to the sensitivity of the joystick. I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool for what it is, the Pokeball. 9 out of 10 in catching Pokemon, like 5 out of 10 when it comes to actually like navigating the rest of
using it as a controller.
Like honestly, like if there was a way I could my controller to navigate the map and then transfer over to my Pokeball just for catching Pokemon, I would do that. Even if it sounds a little bit like overwhelming, I'm like, no, because that's how much of an issue I'm getting navigating the map using the peripheral. It's just like, yeah.
Caroline, what do you think about the Pokeball Plus accessory?
When I first started playing it, I just figured I need to charge this thing. So I charged it for maybe about 2.5, 3 hours before I started using it. So I was shocked that, aside from handheld, you're not using the two, Yeah. You have to use one or the other Joy-Con. Yep. So I used the right one. And it took me some getting used to just using one joystick and then 3 buttons. You have your A, your B, and your Y. So for the way that it translates over that to when I picked up the ball, your A is pressing in the stick. You're moving around as the joystick. Your B is the top, and Y is shaking the ball itself.
I didn't even know that.
Now,
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either.
So that like while you're telling me that, I'm like, I don't even know if he knows about the shaking, because I had to look it up. And that was what kind of bothered me. I found it on a Reddit post. They're like, how do you do X, or how do you do the Y command when there's like, because I was like pulling up the Joy-Con, like, can I redo this one on this one?
I did the same.
Y is literally shaking it. It's actually pretty seamless.
Can you do R at all?
There's no R, but you really don't need to. Once you press in the button with the ball, it recognizes that you don't have an R button. So all of the options that you would have if you pressed R would be in a drop down.
Okay.
So there's that. Because I'm a lady, I have smaller hands, obviously. So it's not an issue for me that I'm like,
wait a minute.
manhandling it.
You're a lady?
Oh God,
Did you know this?
I have tiny little hands. But that's not an issue for me. I think, I don't know, I've learned that Japanese and Asian things in general run small. So like, are you trying it out right now?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it make noise. I was just looking for sound effects.
So anything Japanese or Asian that I've gotten clothing wise or anything tends to be like, I'm a large in a lot of stuff that I would normally be a small in for them,
Sure.
So I think it's for them, they're all more used to smaller things and needing smaller accessories, which is why I'm 99.9% convinced that the Joy-Cons are as small as they are and the Pokeball is as small as it is and stuff like that. So, I mean, like the Pro Controller is a great alternative for anybody that doesn't feel like that's big enough. But anyway, I like it. I gave it to Brian. I was like, I highly suggest you start with this, because when I started doing the Joy-Con, it's more seamless for me to throw with the Pokeball and aim in the area that I need to than it was for me to level the Joy-Con and aim with the Joy-Con in a certain area. I think the ball is better in terms of aiming when you're trying to throw the ball. But yeah, once you guys get that Y thing down through the menu, I think it'll be a lot easier for you.
Okay, I'm going to try that out.
I hope.
I won't refer.
I
Like at some point, I'm freaking out because I'm texting Donnie and I'm like, Donnie, how do you save the game? Because my wife is like, oh, I'm pretty sure it auto saves, and I'm like, I'm not taking that chance.
It does at some points. At some points, I've seen the
I
auto
didn't
save
notice
icon.
that, and I'm like, I just pumped 45 minutes into this tutorial area.
Sure.
I'm not going through that again. I'm not closing this down till
Until
I
you
figure
know.
out. And the game is so new. I go online and I'm like, nothing. Like no one is helping me out.
The Reddit's got everything.
Sure,
Everybody's
well,
already asked.
And then I'm like, I text Donnie and I'm like, Donnie, how do you save? And then you tell me, and I'm like, oh, thank God. I did not realize there was a button on top of the Pokeball.
Neither did
Donnie
Brian.
told me that there was a button on top of the Pokeball.
And that's the button that you use to catch Pokemon. I went out there, having played Pokemon Let's Go first.
On Pokemon Go.
On Pokemon
That's
Go,
fun.
I went out there
Right.
clicking the stick because I've been trained for 3 hours to click the stick. So I went out there clicking the stick and it kept like desyncing my
Ooh.
Pokeball, and I'm like, why isn't this working? I'm calling Caroline, I'm like, this isn't working at all. Like, what is going on? And then she's like, press the top. And that was the first thing I did. I pressed the B button, and there it started catching things. I was like, oh my God, different
The
experience.
lack of instructions just sucks.
It
Especially
really
for-
does.
For,
There are
for
no
going between
there are
there.
no instructions.
Yeah.
It's like
Dumb.
there's like one line in the very beginning of the game that tells you, oh, and use the X or Y or X button for everything else. And I'm like, and you read that and you're like, cool. And that, like, if you don't process what that means, you don't even look for it
Sure.
because you don't even realize there's a button there. So
Now, obviously, the biggest difference between this game and a mainline RPG game are the Pokemon Go integrations into the game. In the sense that you catch Pokemon now simply in the Pokemon Go, throw the Pokeball little minigame.
No
And that-
fighting wild Pokemon. I think
No
that's
fighting.
the biggest thing. For
There
me.
are fights for wild Pokemon. Some. Did you know that? If you
haven't come
fight
across
one
that
of the
yet.
legendary birds or Snorlax, you actually have to fight it, weaken it before you open the minigame.
I haven't come across Snorlax yet, so.
So that is one of the things that you have to do with that. But all the other Pokemon, you just simply jump into the Pokemon Go minigame or you throw the ball.
Right.
So that's the biggest difference. So let's start here. I played for about 2 hours with the Pokeball. I stopped because of the menu navigation, because I couldn't figure out how to like move my party around. I still can't like I'm not sure if you even can. Do you know, like, is there a
Man,
way
what?
to quit back to the main screen outside of just hitting the home button on the Joy-Con and quitting the game period?
I haven't tried that.
Yeah, I
but
don't think you can.
I don't know.
Like,
Oh,
you can't
you
like
can.
just quit the game, and you can't get back to the home with the Pokeball. I wish
can
the
I ask
Pokeball
another
had.
question? Can I ask for help?
Sure.
Can I phone a friend?
If you activate the second player by mistake,
Can
is
you
there a way of
desync
turning
it?
off?
I haven't been able to figure that out either.
It is so, and then you go into battles, and it brings us. So my wife, right? I think at some point when she when she fought Brock, she's using two trainers at the same time because she doesn't. We don't know how to
Turn the other one off.
Player, and it's like, to me, that is like basic. That is basic, like, just
Oh yeah, there should be
controls,
instructions on
and
that.
it's like-
So my wife
Yeah.
and I played for maybe 5 minutes. We tried the co-op. By the way, I hate that. I don't like that at all. But we tried it, and you have to like synchronize your throws together. So it's like 1,
Right.
2, throw, and once she quit, I was like, "Stop! You're wasting my Pokeballs. This isn't working. Get on my game." And once she did that, I couldn't get her off the screen. I kept trying to play, and I actually had to save, quit, close the game, restart the game, come back in. And like they sync almost like if you just shake it. If you shake the Pokeball, it
Yeah.
syncs.
Yeah.
No, if you tap the Joy-Con, it turns on, or
Yep.
it detects the motion, and it boom, like random Captain Obvious shows up in your screen.
Haven't had that
And
issue.
You're like, man,
And I tried going back to the home screen and going to the pair controllers thing, and I paired just the one and came back, and it still recognized that the ball was still there. And I also tried to go a step further. I also tried to put a Pokemon in the ball, because when you put a Pokemon in the ball, it makes you resync your controller. So I did that, and it still made me sync a second player. It was like, we see you have a second player, resync the second Joy-Con. There was no option to quit. So I had to do that as well. So no, I'm right there with you. But I don't want to spend too much time on that part. Getting into the gameplay, this whole change, right? This was my biggest fear in this game, was that this Pokemon Go integration was going to make it feel cheap. And I got to admit, when I went through the first forest between Pallet and Viridian, I kind of felt that way. I was like, it does kind of feel cheap. I don't like this. But as I started playing more, especially when I went through like Mount Moon and remembering, because I played Pokemon Yellow like last year, so I'm not that far off of it. Right. Remembering how long it took to get through like Mount Moon, when you went through all of the battle sequence and everything, like I actually started to warm up to it. I was like, you know what? It feels a little less strategic, but there is still some strategy to it. Like you still have to throw and some timing and whatnot. But outside of that, like it does kind of speed things along. And I'm not exactly sure how, keep hitting tackle over and over again is any better or worse than, emotion control. So in that regard, I've warmed up to the actual change. I also found that I'm still doing plenty of battles. I don't feel like there's a lack of battling.
Right,
I've encountered plenty of trainers, plenty of the coaches trainers. I've encountered plenty of trainers to battle where I'm getting that battle sense too. The only recommendation that I may have that I was thinking about, just like how you have to battle down the legendaries, I kind of wish you had to do that for all evolutions. I think that might be like the happy medium. All the basics, you jump right into a mini game, and then all evolutions, you have to battle, weaken, and then get to the mini game. I think that would be the perfect blend between the two.
Sure.
Because you don't want to keep battling Zubats and wasting your moves on Zubats.
Yeah.
But you should have to earn the right to catch an Arcanine or a Golbat or something like that. So like that in my mind as I was playing, I was like, I think that might be kind of where I'm hoping this goes.
If you perceive, I don't know if you guys read it, but like I think last night before I went to sleep, like at 1 a.m. I posted on Discord, like these are my 5 rules for myself going into this game. And I was like, this game is made for kids, primarily.
Yep.
So I feel like if you think of attacks and PP and HP, if you think of it as a resource management function, like you're managing the number of attacks that you have, that is a resource, right?
Yeah, it's all resource management.
Yeah,
sure.
Then you're like, and they're saying, well, instead of making kids manage this resource every single Pokemon encounter that they have, you're only managing it during trainer battles or major Pokemon battles. In that sense, it is a way of like minimizing the toll on just resource management. I mean, there were times when I'm playing the standard games and I'm like, okay, I have 7 Fire Blasts.
Yep.
When am I gonna use those Fire Blasts? Right?
Not here. Not until I get to the next Pokemon.
Not to this guy, right? Yeah, like I'm using it on the 5th guy on the last Pokemon of this Elite Four guy. You know, so there's like that sense of management, resources, and management, like power attacks. Like that is completely taken out of the small battles, right? The little
and what they've replaced it with is like this secondary currency, which is now like Pokeballs. Whereas Pokeballs felt like an inventory before. Now it's kind of like a currency.
So Brian was mentioning that too. Number one, when you said about it felt kind of cheap, he's like, I almost died on the way to Viridian City when I was a kid. It was nigh impossible to get there. Then he also mentioned. Oh my God, what did you just say? The Pokeballs. He's like, how hard are they to get? And I'm like, honestly, you get them like cash.
Every trainer, every battle. Yeah.
Every single one. So it's literally like an additional currency. I mean, that's pretty much it. Yep. I've only bought them once and then I just got way too many. I was like, there's no need for me to even buy these things.
Sure. So with that, I'm actually welcoming of the new change to the formula. So I want to get back into the secondary, probably biggest change is the fact that now we see Pokemon on the map. Getting back to what you mentioned earlier, Caroline, how you kind of sat and camped out and farmed. I did the same thing, actually. I caught Geodude after Geodude after Geodude until eventually a Chansey popped in, and then I caught a Chansey.
You caught the Chansey? Because, see, I missed it.
I caught Chansey. I also sat there and like grinded out a Butterfree evolution. Like before I ever got to Brock, I had a Butterfree.
Nice.
I just caught a Metapod and I just kept catching things until it evolved. I just like kept.
There was a Beedrill out there and it ran for me. I was so mad, but then I leveled up my.
So it's very interesting in this game in the sense that now, where before you just walked around the forest in the grass and you know, like something would pop out at you. Now you see them all on the map. And
that chance thing is still there, though. I mean, it's very rare to get some certain Pokemon in an area.
Sure.
Versus, so I mean, like the percentage chance for it to spawn is there, but you see it, so you can run over to it immediately.
I think this is a positive change.
I
Having
agree.
played the game for 3 or 4 hours today, I think this is a positive change because here's the thing. If you're wanting to find the rare thing, you can sit there and keep catching Pokemon and eventually you can like basically, you know, you're taking a chance, there's a chance, but you can make it pop. But if you're at that point where you've caught, like at the point where I was earlier at Mount Moon, I'd caught so many Pokemon, I was like, if I keep catching them, I'd be too overpowered. Like
Right.
I've leveled everybody up to almost like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like they're not going to listen to me anymore. So at that point, you could just dodging Zubats. I can't tell you how happy I am to just be dodging Zubats. I'm not being constantly stopped and plotted along the way, like, hey, stop and try to, you know, battle the Zubat. I don't have to run away anymore. And some of the Pokemon actually have some really cool, like, movements that you actually have to dodge. You know, it's not like they just sit there and you walk around them. You know, like, Mankey's, like, speed all over the place and they go in diagonals and whatnot. So, like, there are points where you actually have to dodge and there's a gameplay mechanic to it. So I think this is a positive. And I'm actually kind of wondering if this might be in a situation where when we go back to the old way, if we don't like
think
it.
so.
I'm wondering if we go back and it pops out in the grass and you're like, oh, I don't like this. This is the 18th Zubat I've seen this, you know, in the past hour. You know, like I'm wondering if this might be like, it's so convenient that people...
I think there's a niche for this game, and then I will definitely want to go back to the old formula. Like I think this is a nice reprieve and like not exactly a reprieve because I don't need to like
sure,
you know, take a break from it, their main series or anything. It's just that this is a stocking stuffer and they are waiting until the real RPG for Gen 8 is ready next year, and I welcome it. Like, I mean, I know it's not exactly the same. It's like,
sure.
You know what?
I'm just wondering when you walk around that cave for an hour and you keep hitting the same 3 Pokemon, if you're like, man, this was better last year. Just like that piece of it.
No.
I also think there's a good benefit to the map feeling active. You open into an area and things are moving. Things are happening. It's not just like this standard lonely grass.
Right.
I think there's a value added there. Q, what do you think about being able to see the Pokemon on the screen now?
I feel like I'm still undecided. It's still kind of weird. I think the game has a lot of changes, and I'm taking them all at the same time, you know? And I still don't know how I feel about all the changes. I don't know. I to me, it feels like... I feel like, so my wife played for an hour, and her Eevee hit level 12. And that was, like, really fast. And I was like, ugh. And you guys were talking about how, like, if you walk around with a Pokemon in your thing, how, like, you hit, like, how you went up 10 levels in, like, an hour, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am not going to do that. Because I feel like...
I feel like
that's gonna
grind.
Yeah, that's gonna kill the game for me in, like, 2 days.
See, no, so... know? And to touch back on that, where I was trying to go with that is, when I first started the game, I felt like we were leveling up like way too fast. Like before I knew it,
I agreed.
When I got to Brock, I had 13, 15, 8. I was like, whoa, like I am OP in this game.
Mm-hmm.
After I got through Misty, like it took me a long time to get my Butterfree from 15 to 16.
Okay.
I did like 8 battles, and I was like, man, where is this XP going? So in that regard, I've kind of bent the other way. I'm now starting to wonder if the end game, the final part of this game, is going to feel like so much of a grind that using this Pokeball is like your best only avenue to get where you need to go. And it's kind of like, think of it like a loot box. You know, like Pokemon's like, we're going to make this game super grindy for you to get to level 80. Or you can give us $50 and you can put
find them anywhere.
You can put your Pokeball in this thing and we'll let you get there super fast.
Yeah, I think I'm not far along in the game to make a strong comment on any of those.
Sure.
Right now, I feel like I'm dodging caterpillars and weedles in Viridian Forest.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I don't know if this is more time consuming than just running through it and just avoid the luck of the draw and just not like getting hit, not ending up in a battle.
You know, it's funny because Caroline, I think you and I are playing. We're almost very similar. I sat in that forest forever. You can't clear it.
Yeah.
By the way, they just keep spawning.
Oh,
so
I wasn't trying to clear it.
I wasn't saying that you were. I'm just saying, like,
dodging, zigzagging around them.
Sure.
I do that too.
I kept catching Pokemon over and over
that's why
and
your level is so high up.
No, and I know that. But my son didn't. He ran straight to Brock and got owned.
Yeah,
He's like, I can't beat him. And I'm like, you gotta sit here and do this.
That was another thing. I had 3 HP left on my Eevee before I took out Misty's 2, and that was the only thing left in my party. And do you know how it died?
Really?
Starmie died from poison from my Beedrill. So
I went through her whole gym with
like,
just Butterfree.
Look, I just hadn't leveled up enough.
Sure.
I'm used to being 10 levels over what the gym requires, and I was on par, if not, a little below. So
I think with the new Go mechanic of battling, I feel like it's because it's so fast, because it's not like you enter a battle, click the thing, they click a thing, you click a thing, they click a thing, they click a like it's so much faster. It's like, I don't know, what do you think? It's maybe 15% of the time that a battle took to catch a Pokemon, you can now just throw a Pokeball and catch it, right?
Right.
15%?
Oh, yeah.
Take?
Yeah.
Because it's so fast, I kind of just find myself just sitting there vegging out, just doing it. I'm just like, why not? I got so many Pokeballs. I throw another one, and I throw another one, and I throw another one, and I throw another one. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, I need to be overpowered anyway, So I just sit there and keep throwing them. And like when I was in Mount Moon, you keep stacking up these. If you keep catching the same Pokemon over and over again, you increase your chances for a rare Pokemon to appear, and you keep stacking up rewards, like XP rewards. You keep bonuses
up until the 31st catch. Then the bonuses stop.
Sure.
They flat out at 31.
You hit 30 of the same in a row?
No, somebody told me that. No, somebody told me that. They said, by the way, there's no point in you actually like going above the 31. It's just best for you to sit and wait and hope that the spawn, changes out. But yeah, you don't waste your time. Don't waste your Pokeballs catching anything above the 31.
I would have stopped at 10.
I caught 11 Geodudes in a row, and then Chansey peeled.
I'm gonna shiny hunt, so I'm ready. I've got to get ready for it.
My book is, if it doesn't add a new slot in my Pokédex, then I'm just being.
You're done?
It's just vanity.
That's the thing. Like I caught 11 Geodudes in a row. And then Chansey appeared, and then I did the Chansey.
Oh, well, that's different. That's
super
different.
Fun.
Yeah.
See, that might make sense because I had about that many Vulpix before my Chansey showed up.
Boom. See, and then that stuff is fun, and because it's so fast, I didn't mind doing it because it was so fast. Right. Plus,
did you find a Bulbasaur in Viridian Forest?
I did not. I tried.
But it's there.
My wife found it.
You got it?
And I was like, yeah, my wife got the Bulbasaur in Viridian Forest. I was like, Catherine, you can just walk through this. This is tutorial stuff. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Bulbasaur shows up. I'm like, go get that Bulbasaur right.
My son did the same thing.
No one cares about Bellsprout.
My son did the same thing when he found Pikachu in there. He ran all the way downstairs in a breath. He's like, I just caught a Pikachu.
And see, that's great for the Eevee thing because you've already got the other one.
Exactly.
Eevee, for Pikachu, you have to wait. But no, you will get all 3 of the original starters in Cerulean City or just after. they have NPCs that give them to you.
Yep.
So I'll just
Yep,
let you
they
know
just
that
give
right
them
now.
to you if you.
Outside
now, hang
of-
on, you have
Oh,
to
sorry.
catch. You have to catch a certain amount of Pokemon.
I know for the Charmander was 50.
Yeah.
And then
50 what?
for Jenny, it was
You
like
just have to
75.
catch 50,
Have caught
and if you talk to the NPCs, they'll give you the OG starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
whoa. So you catch 50 Pokemon, and then what do you do for Charmander?
So
No,
I don't
no,
know.
no. Okay, so like for Bulbasaur, I think it was 25 to 30. If you had caught 25 to 30 Pokemon, period, that includes ones that you've given back to the professor, then you can get a Bulbasaur from
You
an
just
NPC.
talk to an NPC in
and they're like,
Cerulean
"Oh,
City,
you've
and they
caught
just
X
give you
amount
one.
of you." Yeah. So
Yeah.
for Charmander, it's 50, and I think for Officer Ginny and the Squirtle, it's 75.
So you mentioned giving stuff back to the professor. I saw that option. What does that do? And obviously,
He
it's-
gives you,
Clear
and that was the
Sire
next thing I was going to do.
Okay,
so if
sorry,
you're
sorry.
sitting there and you're catching the Pokemon like I have been, and you're just having fun with this little mini game because it's so easy and it's so fast, then eventually you go into your Pokemon bag, you highlight all the Pokemon you're never going to use, you send them to the professor, and he gives you a crap ton of rewards in candy, and sometimes Pokeballs. They even got Pokeballs.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of customize your team the way you want. So like Butterfree is, typically slow. But if you have all this quick candy, you can make them super fast. Like you
yeah.
can outfit them. It provides a level of customization that we've
Yeah.
never really had in a Pokemon.
Okay,
You can build the
that's
team the
cool.
way you want.
I can dig that. I'm not obviously. I wish I known this stuff. Just I don't know, like through the game
3
itself.
hours ago.
Like
Yeah.
through the game and not by having to talk to y'all and be like, oh, okay, this is how I save my game.
Sure. And I think that's always been the Pokemon way, I think, is they want us to talk about it. They want you to talk about it.
but not like this though. I don't know. I feel like maybe I have a lot of like muscle memory from all the
I'm with you.
mobile Pokemon games.
I'm with you.
Because this one's built so much differently though. I feel like I'm like I don't know where the safe button is. It's like
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I'm with you.
yeah.
So, I got through Misty and the road after Misty, and that's where I saved it and called it quits because I got PSVR and we wanted to go mess around with that today. My son is messing around. I keep trying to tell him, I'm like, you need to catch more Pokemon, you need to grind, you need to level up. I'm showing him how to use the Pokeball. Once he saw my Mew level up like crazy, he immediately he started running laps around the house. He's like, he went outside. I'm telling you, like, it's a genius little mechanic.
my
It doesn't
God.
sound like a lot at first, but when you see the rewards that
Yeah.
you get from
Mhm.
taking a stroll with the Pokemon, it's going to become addictive. And that's the perfect cross promotion with Pokemon Go.
I just wish it was warmer outside, man.
Sure.
This game released way too late in the winter in the year.
Kids running around out in the ice and snow on Christmas Day and breaking bones and
Hey, Dad, I got pneumonia,
Leveling
but guess
Pokemon.
what? My Mew's 75.
I
Thought
got
that. Hey! I leveled up my Marowak or my Cubone today. Finally, Pokemon Go
Yay!
got my Marowak.
So
Nice.
can I ask you? I know you have a question, but I have because I don't know. What is my incentive right now of connecting Go? Can you connect Go to your game right now?
I tried and it didn't work. I think you have to get to a
Because-
certain
okay.
city.
That's fair.
You
That's fair.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's oh God, what city is it? Flower. Why can't I remember the name of it?
Oh,
Petunia City.
Cerulean City.
No, Petunia City.
Yeah,
Petunia City.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Vermilion City?
Vermilion.
No,
No?
Petunia.
There's no Petunia
Who
City.
knows?
No.
It starts with a P. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it's like that's where you get access to the zoo thing where it's like where you have the whole
Fuchsia
park there.
City.
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
It's Fuchsia City,
Why was I
yeah.
saying Petunia? Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I knew it was a flower, and I knew it was that color. Sorry, I don't know. So yeah, Fuchsia City.
Yeah, I tried
Okay.
it, and you can't. I think you
Okay.
do have to get to the city before you can do that, and then you can bring
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah.
in from your game. And
what
actually,
I-
NPC told me it was there.
But what I can do, I can connect Pokemon Go to the Pokeball, the peripheral,
yep.
and I can put a Pokemon from Let's Go into the Pokeball and walk around with it.
Yep, and you earn
Yep.
all kinds of rewards and level up and stats and all that jazz.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
So the last couple things I wanted to talk about, Well, one, I did want to say my biggest downfall, I think, with the game so far are the motion controls. The motion controls that are mandated to you when you play it on the TV. When I have the Pokemon that bounce from the left and the right side of the screen, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've legit taken the Pokeball. I've slowly wind it back as the prompt does, and I went like this, only for the ball to go like that. And it really pisses me off.
It's a matter of how it's held in your hand, not so much
Yeah.
the direction you do it.
It has to be red up.
You have
And I
to
did
have
that.
it right up,
Yeah,
and you have to throw it. And I kind of hold my elbow with my
that's ridiculous.
to a line.
Do you see what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, are you?
It's
that,
an upside down fascist salute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, because my wife was doing like this, and I'm like, no, go like this. And
yeah,
she's
and,
like,
and I'm
"Why?"
doing that.
It's like, well, I don't
But
know.
when I'm trying to curve it off to the side of the screens, it's not.
Oh,
It's
see.
not very accurate, and it makes me feel like when you play it portably, you can aim with the stick, which I wish I could at least
Right.
aim with the Joy-Con stick, at least to like the side of the screen, and then throw it straight. You can't even
I get
do
that.
that.
I get that.
Yeah.
I just am. I don't know. It's more of a practice thing. By the end of the time, I was getting better with it. Nana berries are your friend.
Man, I'm telling you. See, I don't like that. I want it. If you're gonna make motion controls mandated, then the motion controls better work all the time. Because when they don't work all the time, then they're bad. That's my problem. That's my issue. I love motion controls. You guys know this. I love motion controls. Like Wii Sports is my jam, but it works. If motion controls don't work, then why do you mandate motion like that? If it doesn't work all the time, it has to work all the time, not 80% of the time. And I have noticed. I almost recorded earlier because I legit, not even like to the left side of the screen. Like I went 5 feet to the left. I threw it at like the door in the room, and it went the opposite way. I was like, I don't know. What's the hell is this? I don't know what this means. I'm not sure how it's tracking, but I tried that. That was the only down thing that I want to say, but I did want to at least get in here before we leave. This is a great, efficient, great use of your time to go back and explore this game you've already played
Yeah.
at least a few times, if not 10, if not dozens of times
If
before.
anything, to pet these adorable and the interactions with the Eevee and the Pikachu are so
They're so
cute.
good. And the fact that you can like keep Pokemon out, you're running around, but and I mean seriously, the art, it's
yeah.
beaucal.
The
It's
style
beautiful.
is
It's
awesome.
beautiful, and
You can
this is-
tell. You can tell it's what the original game was supposed to be like. You know, outside of the technology being a barrier, right? This is what I thought. This is what the game was supposed to feel like.
Did you guys see my tweet about my son's statement, like my son's quote this morning? We saw all these people lining up, and I was like, "Man, look at all that line over there." And he goes, "Yeah, this is going to be huge." And I go, "Do you think that many people care about Pokemon in Hiram, Georgia?" And he goes, "Dad, they're remaking like the best game in the series, but with actual colors now." This is what he said. That's exactly what he said. He's like, they're remaking the best
man.
game, but with actual colors. I was like,
Screw you, Game Boy Color.
touche, kid.
What happened to Fire Red and Leaf Green? Did we forget about
Right?
those?
Fire Red was so good.
I love Fire Red.
I'll say this because I don't want to. I said a lot of like counter and not negative,
No,
but
I
just
get
critical things about the game. It's because I care so much about the brand.
Oh,
and
I know.
the
You
IP.
expect perfection.
I said this when I pulled up into my driveway and I parked my car. There was like a fire building inside of me because I wanted to play this game so badly, and that sensation. There's very few games out there that make me feel that kind of like that, like gut feel. Like all day today at work, I was obviously working because I'm a good employee, but
I earn my days off, thank you.
But in the back of my head, all I was what is my strategy to getting home as quickly as possible, so I can play this and then jump on the podcast.
I mean, based on your story that you told us, it makes me sound like you spent your entire workday trying to find a GameStop that had the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like managing traffic and and then having to be here and record with you guys. When honestly, I don't want to be here. I just want to
You're gonna be playing the
just
game.
want to be playing the game.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and then knowing that tonight when my wife is sleeping, she's angry because I need to come to bed because it's like 2 a.m. I'm gonna bring the Switch with me
And play while she's in the bed.
and play in bed like I'm like 7 years old again. And
Love
there's
it.
obviously there's no game out there that does that. At the end of the day, Pokemon, even this version of Pokemon is still very powerful.
It's so good and it's so pretty, and I think it plays best portably, because in portable you can control the sticks, you can control the aspect. I wish we could do that.
I need to try that. Yeah,
I do wish they'd let us use 2 Joy-Cons. There's something weird about just holding one.
Yeah,
You know, the other hand just
it took
feels
me a while to
empty.
get
I'm
used
just
to.
like, let me use the stick on one and the buttons on the other, or the motion on the other. Like, it. I understand what they're trying to get at, but like, it's not necessary. It's completely not necessary. Like, let me do whatever I want. You put out all these controllers. I've got all these Joy-Cons. Like, let me use them.
Right.
But outside of that, I am very much enjoying myself. I think this is the perfect introduction to Pokemon. I love the original generation. I think all of us old folks do, right?
Yeah.
The nostalgia is there. Going and talking to the NPCs, even some of them have changed. You know, like the guy in Cerulean who's like, technology's great. You know, back in the day. Now he's like, technology's great. You can connect games to your phones now. Like, that stuff is so good.
Yeah, Brian saw that too.
Welcome to
He's like,
2009.
great for breaking the fourth wall there.
Right. I'm looking forward to it. I think over all the changes that they added, and there are a ton, I actually think they went really well. And as we discussed on a few shacks ago, Caroline, if this becomes the off-year version of Pokemon, I'd much rather have this than Mystery Dungeon or
Oh God, yeah.
Rumble
I agree.
World. You know, like
I
if we
agree.
get main Pokemon, Pokemon Go, main Pokemon, Pokemon Go, I'd be so excited. And if they took some of the things from this game, like the seeing the Pokemon, like maybe like I said, if I could immediately catch all base evolutions, or like let's say even all Pokemon under level 30, you can just catch. All Pokemon over level 30, you have to battle and then catch. I would adopt that wide across the entire spectrum. All games, I would adopt that style. I think that would be a great addition because they make it work. But I'll be very interested to see how much of this game works itself into future games, because they're on to something. It's different, but it's the same.
I have a feel like playing this game and hearing y'all talk about this game. It makes me think that the RPG that they're talking about, that they're building, is gonna be something completely different.
I agree.
Yeah,
If any,
I do
it's
too.
gonna be more of an adventure open world game.
Oh, I don't know
rather
about
than
open
this.
world.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I see what you mean.
because here's the thing, like, and I don't want to prolong the conversation, but at the end of the day, it's like
That's what we do.
this game is. I think it's not the mobile classic version from the DS or the Game Boy, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, if whatever they're calling the mainstream RPG they're building, if that's gonna be just a little bit more of this, then that's gonna feel like a pretty cheap upgrade to this product.
No, I wasn't thinking open world, but I would say this: non-linear. That would feel.
I
open.
think that's been ready to be in the works for a long time.
Just a Pokemon world to go and experience. Go in the
Yeah,
direction you want.
Yeah.
I see it like a Breath of the Wild take on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And you know what? I'll say this now: if they want to remake, Heart Gold X, anything in this style, I'll keep buying it, because
No, it's so pretty.
it is so pretty
Yeah.
and it's so much
I'll
fun.
stop playing. I'll just stop playing everything else. Like I don't.
We're
I'm
such
telling you right
homers. Like, we're such homers. We just want more Pokemon.
It looks great on a 17-inch monitor, and it looks on 60-inch HD.
Oh, it looks so good. It looks so. I took a picture. I took a picture of the title screen on my 55-inch TV, and I was like, "There's something so very special about playing a main
Absolutely.
Pokemon game on your TV."
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want that to go underappreciated.
Yep.
But we can sit here and talk all night. This isn't our review for the game. We all just started. Caroline, just curiosity, how far did you get?
I went to the third gym, but I haven't gone in yet.
Okay. I'm not even that far behind you. Wow. And Q, you're
I'm pretty far behind. Yeah, I'm like I have like an hour.
okay.
Good luck getting it back from your wife.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to talk to y'all before I kept playing because I feel like I needed some like instructions before I kept playing.
Sure. No, I actually kind of felt that way too. There were none included in the game. Like, did you guys see that? All we had was reverse
No
covers.
manual.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And speaking
Speaking
of
of
like
which,
covers and
that-
marketing, that box is gorgeous.
Yeah.
By the way, the box for the system is amazing.
I'm talking about like how excited I was when I opened this bad boy and
Jack
the
was
Kanto
so
map
excited.
is inside.
He's so excited. He's got it out. He's taking it out of the case and he's like looking at it while he plays. He's like, "There's Cubone over here. If you keep catching Pokemon, you'll find it." You know, like he's all about it. So,
He's adorable.
That's awesome.
anyway, so that's it for us guys. Nintendo Shack 56, Pokemon Day 2018. We'll have more Pokemon updates, I'm sure. We're not even through 3 gyms, so we'll have
Can't wait to get
We'll
that Yoto DLC. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of DLC, like, does anybody think that this game might have it? I wouldn't be surprised if.
Yeah.
We'll get things like this, which is cards
Sure,
to add
Sure.
mystery gifts. Like
My
the,
thing though is
Egg
right
and
now
Shot.
this game has no online trading, right? Mm-hmm. There's no
It
like
doesn't.
trade machine. Does it?
I don't.
Oh, that thing. Oh, you can link with
You
friends
can link
and
with
trade.
friends, but there's no like Wonder Trade,
No, there's not.
and there's no online multiplayer. Like there's no like I can battle Q over the wireless.
And
Right.
lose.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
So I think those are things that they could do down the line to give it, and like they could also do like a battle mode of some sort. Like I'm still surprised that there's no like tournament, thing. Like there's no stadium you go to and you can just battle folks like CPUs.
Yeah. I don't know what the model is here, what they're planning, or what y'all think they're planning, but I would much rather pay a significant amount of money, like let's say $40 for an expanded map, rather than have to start from a game from scratch.
Sure.
This is true. Yeah.
I'd also like to see Pokemon Bank inclusion. That's
Yes.
another.
I think there's a completely different Pokemon thing coming where we can integrate our bank stuff into the Switch Online.
I'm scared. There's
coming.
a part of me that's really scared that they're looking at Pokemon Go as the new Pokemon Bank.
No. I got all of my 800 babies right
I can
there.
totally see them going. Today we updated the game, and now you can transfer everything into Pokemon Go and take your Pokemon with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting that possible to be a thing, and I'll leave this. I did want to say this now that I thought about it again. I'm actually quite surprised and somewhat pleased that this game isn't telling me or killing me to play Pokemon Go. In my playthrough so far, you can totally play this game without it at all. So if you were concerned that this was like some sort of like a mobile getcha type thing, it's not.
Well, I think it like Lobo said, it's for kids, and children
Yeah.
aren't going to have their own smartphones.
Sure. And it hasn't been telling me to do it. I haven't been prompted to connect it with Go. Actually, the Go stuff is like hidden behind the save menu and everything, so you have to like go find it. Which I'm pleasantly surprised about, because when they announced that it was Let's Go, when they announced that the battle thing was changing, like I was a little scared that we were gonna have to like buy Pokeballs with real world money or something like that, and it's not. It's not like that at all. It's not even close. Just if you ever had any of that like in your head, just throw it out the door. It's not even. That's not even a thing, which I'm really happy about. I think that makes me feel happier than anything. So
Yeah.
that's it, guys. We've been going long enough. Pokemon Day is everything Pokemon. We hope you enjoy. Make sure you follow all of us at psvg.blog. Tell your friends about the podcast, either on the PSVG master feed, or you can Google on iTunes, on Stitcher, on anything. All podcast services. The Nintendo Shack has its own standalone podcast feed. We'd be so happy if you subscribe to it. We'd be super happy if you gave us an iTunes review, because that helps other people find us. If they search Nintendo, that helps us pop up if we get reviews. Or you cut out the middleman, just tell a friend about us. Tell somebody else, be like, hey, I listen to this awesome Nintendo podcast. You should too. Go search the Nintendo Shack. My name's Donnie. That's Q. That's Caroline. We appreciate you for hanging out in the Pokemon Trainers Corner. We'll have updates for you as we move towards the holidays. Wishing you all a very happy Pokemon weekend. Thank you so much, guys. Good night, Koopalings. Whenever you're ready.
This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?